liked it so much, it's almost worth doing again, but I'm not. So we walked out to Gloria Gaynor's classic, I Will Survive, with a special request from Joy.
Yeah.
That's fitting, Joy.
Since today is her birthday, Joy, I'm supposed to ask, why that song?
Oh. Well, I didn't want to pick something from the Grateful Dead. Or that other song, You Know You Want It. These are the choices I had in my head. You know that song, You Know You Want It? So anyway, but I did survive quite a few years now on this show.
Well, yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, it's like being in Vietnam all over again. But
You're in year 23 now.
23.
23 years.
This show is 100 ends and you are Katniss.
I'm telling you, you are.
Well, I think it's it's an interesting thing to survive that many years on television, I guess. I don't know. As annoying as I am to many people, I've made it this far.
They want more of you, Joy.
Yeah, sometimes, you know what, sometimes being annoying is captivating.
No, we adore you.
Thank you, sweetie. I love all of you. You're all great girls. This is one of my favorite panels, I must say.
I love you back.
It is.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
It is, because I think that it's a very interesting mix of people, and even though we argue sometimes and have fights, I still think that we're doing a very good job as a show, and particularly in these troubled times that we happen to be living in with a certain psychotic in the White House.
I want to turn that into a song.
Okay, go ahead.
There's a certain psychotic in the White House. It has that kind of feel to it, you know? Wow. Well, happy birthday, Joy.
Thank you, dear. Thank you. Thank you.
Thrilled to be here. And who knows what's going to happen today? All kinds of stuff. You know, and so over the weekend, I was really happy to be at the grand opening gala for Tyler Perry's historic 330-acre state-of-the-art studio in Atlanta, Georgia.
Yes.
And
after his health scare, Bernie Sanders' campaign admits he had a heart attack. Is the media covering this much differently than Hillary's medical crisis last election? This week on The View, we're taking on all the hottest topics.
hey, welcome back. You know, a second whistleblower has come forward about you-know-who in the White House allegedly withholding security funds from Ukraine unless they investigate Bidens. This comes just days after he called on China to investigate them too. But some of the Republicans, like Congressman Jim Jordan, claim that we don't get it. Okay, take a look.
You really think he was serious about thinking that China's going to investigate the Biden family?
He said it right there in public.
I think he's getting, as I think Senator Rubio said a couple days ago, I think he's getting the press all spun up about this. Remember, this is the president who's been tougher on China than any other president.
The president asked China to investigate. We're not supposed to take the president at his word.
I think Senator Rubio said it best. This is the president. You guys would think after 3.5 years, you would, with the campaign and everything else, you'd figure out some of the ways that this
He said in public the exact same thing he said in private to the Ukrainian president.
And not to just put too hard a point on this, here he is on the South Lawn last week. Tell me, after you hear this, does he sound like he's kidding?
By the way, likewise, China should start an investigation into the Bidens. Because what happened in China is just about as bad as what happened with Ukraine.
Not only does no one know what he's talking about, but, I mean, if he's kidding, where's the laughter?
Well, was he kidding when he called Mexicans rapers, or when he went after Senator McCain, or when he was made fun of a handicapped person? Were those jokes? Or when he said, Russia, if you're listening, look into Hillary? Were those jokes also?
Apparently.
Well, according to Jim Jordan, they're all hilarious, I guess. Well, not to the people he's attacking, no. So I don't know what they, but you know what? This second whistleblower could be the death knell for the guy. And thank God it's my birthday. The best present. I mean, and bring on some more. There's a whole bunch of them waiting in the wings to come out and spill the beans. Yep.
Yeah, I think the second whistleblower is very important because that person apparently has firsthand knowledge of the phone call. So that implies that that person was on the call. And I think what people need to remember is that the transcript that we saw wasn't really a transcript. It was a memo of the call because the call wasn't recorded. It was merely transcribed. And if you look at the transcript memo, I implore everyone to do that. When you actually read it, there are ellipses in the transcript. An ellipse means 3 little dots, and that connotes that there are words missing, conversation missing, and those ellipses can be found in 3 really important places. 1, Biden went around bragging that he stopped the prosecution, so if you can look into it, ... it sounds horrible to me. I'd like to know what is there. Then I would like you to find out what happened with this whole situation with Ukraine. They say CrowdStrike ... I'd like to know what's there. I guess you have one of your wealthy people ... The server, they say Ukraine has it. So that whistleblower heard the ... and I'd like to hear it, right? And I think that the committee wants to hear it, and I think America wants to hear it.
We want to
That's
hear
why the
everything.
whistleblower is important, in my humble opinion.
Look, we never have enough time to talk about
this
stuff.
I agree.
But here's what I would say. I mean, I was thinking about everything. I was talking to friends at home, and I realized the way we talk about it in these studios in New York City is oftentimes different than how people are feeling about it. And I'm now convinced he's probably going to win re-election. I do. I think that what they're doing right now is a campaign of confusion, which, frankly, they're very good at doing. I think they are very clever because there's no way to dig out of this hole. Well, and they know that. So what they're saying is, let's try and confuse the American people.
You know what?
Let me finish, though.
It
is your birthday, so I would like you to speak. But they will always have a 40% support base. People that can't stand the media, that can't stand the liberals. And so if they go out there and the Trump loyals say, look, this was a joke all along. It was actually Ukraine that interfered in the elections. And people are going to believe what they want to hear. People will believe what they want to hear.
They don't care. They don't care. They're entrenched.
Look, I find this serious, but I also think we need to live in reality and where we are.
You know,
and there are some people that will let this slide. Go ahead, Joy.
It's very easy to muddy the waters and to obfuscate when you are shameless and a liar. And that's what they are. They're shameless and they're lying. Just watch Jim Jordan, watch Ron Johnson. These people are shameless. They're cowards. They're sticking behind somebody that they know is unpatriotic, that is not American, and they're doing it anyway. So go ahead, keep lying and muddy the waters and see how dumb Americans are.
I see your prompt to read, Whoopi, that you're going to talk to me when we come back, but I actually have something else to say. I have been furious all morning that I think is important to bring up. But we have to go to a commercial break, because as usual, we never have time to talk about it.
Good promo, though. Good promo.
Well, happy birthday, Joy.
Thank you.
So good to be here today. We'll be right back. So you were getting ready to say.
So I'm going a little bit rogue, but I've been so mad this morning and so upset about this news that we are abandoning our Kurdish allies in the Middle East. These are allies of ours that American soldiers are still continuing to fight alongside. All we did was arm them, and they fought for America. And right now, we're just saying we're just going to leave them and abandon them. And to everyone in the White House and every Republican who was mad that President Obama pulled out of Iraq, you feckless, unpatriotic cowards. I cannot believe this is where we're at, diplomatic-wise. And I cannot believe this is what messages is sending to our allies who have fought alongside us and to our American troops who have fought and died for this. And I cannot believe I'm waking up in the morning seeing this kind of news. And I don't care that he ran on pulling troops out. There's a whole different thing. We leave this. This is a great day for ISIS, and this is a great day for Assad. And shame on everyone who's supporting this. Right. And I'm sorry this is not the topic, but I just couldn't come out here today and not say this.
No, it's very important.
Why do you think this administration has decided to do it?
It is. He ran on isolationism, which again I think is crap insane for a whole variety of reasons. But I think it might be a wag the dog situation.
Exactly.
I have no idea.
That's what I think.
It's a distraction from the second whistleblower.
That's what I
You
think.
cannot go and say you support our troops, that they fought and died for this mission.
Yes, but you know he's never been. He's never. He can say it all he wants to, but we've watched. You know when people are supporting the troops. You know when they're looking out for the troops. This guy's not been doing that.
Didn't you say, Joy, that you researched and said that no one in 5 or...
No one in his family, going back generations,
we're just gonna leave
was
the
ever
terms?
in the Army, the Navy, the Marine, nobody in the Trump family ever fought in a war.
But the vacuum that's going to be left is going to foster the growth of ISIS. And by the way, when people say we're sick of fighting them, we can fight them over there or we can fight them over here. And I am a person who believes that this will only get worse as it did after we left in Iraq.
But they were all the Kurds are our allies.
Yes,
why would you go up against your ally? Because he's selfish and narcissistic. It's about him.
But these Kurdish troops who fought for us are now being sent, and all allies of America, will abandon you.
Don't we talk about distractions all the time? Don't we talk about that? This administration, he's under the gun now. Is this a wag the dog situation?
Who is there?
Whatever it is, it's the first thing to get Lindsey Graham to talk about Trump. So
I also heard people on Fox too. This might be one.
Brian
Republicans seem more angry about this even than the Ukraine call. Actually,
I am more upset than the Ukraine call about this. But I don't care what that means.
I think if you are a Republican, then like if you're not out, if you're not speaking out about, I think the Ukraine thing and this, then what are you standing
for? Has anyone
for?
Spoken out about this?
So not that I
is against it.
Again, this just happened this morning, and I woke up and I had to read it and then process. If you think I'm mad now, you should have heard me when I first woke up in the morning. And I just think if you support our allies, if you support people who believe in freedom and democracy and are fighting on the right side, and you still support this at the same time, then you're not a conservative. You're just not, and you're not an America First individual. So, and I'm sorry to do this on your birthday, but I just feel like why have a platform
against Trump, she'll be thrilled.
So as long as it's against Trump, happy birthday to me.
There are a couple of bright lights that went out over the weekend that we do want to acknowledge. Rip Taylor, who was one of the funniest, campiest comedians ever.
Picture? No.
You don't have a picture?
Too bad.
Okay. All right. Well, that's why this is, you got to flow.
There he is.
There we go.
There he is. Really fun. We'll be right back. We'll be right back.
Later, days after his health scare, Bernie Sanders' campaign admits he had a heart attack. Is the media covering this much differently than Hillary's medical crisis last election?
Whistleblower has come forward about you-know-who in the White House allegedly withholding security funds from Ukraine unless they investigate fighters. This comes just days after he called on China to investigate them too. But some of the Republicans, like Congressman Jim Jordan, claim that we don't get it. Okay, take a look.
You really think he was serious about thinking that China's going to investigate the Biden family?
He said it right there in public.
I think he's getting, as I think Senator Rubio said a couple days ago, I think he's getting the press all spun up about this. Remember, this is the president who's been tougher on China than any other president.
The president asked China to investigate. We're not supposed to take the president at his word?
I think Senator, you guys would think after 3.5 years, you would, with the campaign and everything else, you'd figure out some of the ways that this guy's...
He said in public the exact same thing he said in private to the Ukrainian president.
And not to just put too hard a point on this, here he is on the South Lawn last week. Tell me, after you hear this, does he sound like he's kidding?
By the way, likewise, China should start an investigation into the Bidens. Because what happened to China is just about as bad as what happened with